June 2022, singer R. Kelly. The king of R&B was sentenced to 30 years imprisonment. Kelly was once a Grammy Award winner with many popular songs and platinum records. But behind all this, there was a terrible story of power, deception, and abuse. So what went wrong with the king of R&B? What led him down a path of criminality? This is the story of a predator who used his fame and power to exploit women, and how one of the music industry's most famous performers fell from grace, and how his victims' voices broke the silence. So let's delve into the video to understand the mind of R. Kelly, the psychology behind his crimes. R. Kelly, full name Robert Sylvester Kelly, is a prominent American singer, songwriter, and producer, known for his significant contributions to the R&B genre. However, his career has been overshadowed by extensive legal issues and criminal convictions related to sexual misconduct. R. Kelly was born on January 8, 1967, in Chicago, Illinois. He faced numerous challenges during his childhood, including struggles with literacy and being sexually abused. The early environment of R. Kelly had a significant effect on his psychological development. He came of age in a world where violence and abuse were prevalent. Research says that children who are exposed to such environments have a big likelihood of developing problematic behaviour, such as a different perspective of power and control. Kelly's experience with sexual abuse started during her early childhood. During subsequent interviews, he disclosed that he experienced sexual abuse from a female family member, which began when he was just 7 years old. This abuse was carried on for numerous years, establishing a recurring pattern of distress that shaped his perspectives on sexuality, authority, and interpersonal connections. Despite the challenges he faced growing up, Kelly discovered comfort and peace through his love for music. His talent was unquestionable, and in the early 1990s, he was well on his way to achieving fame. At the time, he won many prestigious awards for his work. However, as Kelly's popularity grew, so did his trick for manipulating and exerting control over those in his circle. Even after having an amazing career, R. Kelly's controversies and legal issues have significantly overshadowed his musical achievements, ultimately leading to his downfall. These issues primarily revolve around allegations of sexual misconduct, including with minors, and culminated in his conviction on charges of human racketeering, sex trafficking, and child pornography. One of the earliest and most publicised controversies involved R. Kelly's relationship with singer Aaliyah. In 1994, when Aaliyah was just 14 years old, she released her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, which was written and produced by R. Kelly. The album was a commercial success, but the album's title track, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, was particularly controversial, as it seemed to directly address and downplay the significance of age in romantic relationships. On August 31st, 1994, R. Kelly and singer Aaliyah were secretly married in Rosemont, Illinois, with Aaliyah being 15 and Kelly being 27. Aaliyah's age was falsely listed as 18 on the marriage certificate, a clear violation of the law. The secrecy and falsification of Aaliyah's age suggests that Kelly and his family were aware of the illegal and inappropriate nature of the union. When Aaliyah's family discovered the marriage, they took legal action to annul it, and in February 1995, the marriage was legally nullified, and both parties were instructed not to discuss the matter publicly. During the 1990s and 2000s, many women, including several who were underage, came forward with accusations of sexual misconduct against Kelly. It was alleged that Kelly engaged in a pattern of predatory behaviour, specifically targeting young girls. He would often make promises of mentorship or assistance with their music careers. During this time, Kelly faced multiple lawsuits, many of which were resolved outside of the courtroom. These settlements often included agreements that did not allow the women involved from discussing their experiences publicly. Tiffany Hawkins met R. Kelly in 1991 at just 15 years old. Promised a music career, she entered a relationship with Kelly. The relationship lasted 3 years, during which she was pressured into sexual acts with Kelly and others. Tiffany files a lawsuit in 1996, which is settled out of court. An intern at Epic Records, Tracy Sampson, who was 17 when Kelly initiated a sexual relationship with her. She describes being manipulated and abused. Tracy files a lawsuit in 2001, later settled out of court. Jahonda, a fan who attended Kelly's trial, was 16 when Kelly began a relationship with her. She was subjected to strict rules and physical abuse. Jahonda breaks a non-disclosure agreement in 2017, helping expose Kelly. Kitty Jones, a radio DJ, was manipulated into a relationship with Kelly in 2011. She endured physical abuse and was forced into sexual acts with others. Kitty shares her story publicly in 2017, contributing to Kelly's exposure. Dominique Gardner lived with Kelly for years under strict control. Her mother eventually rescues her from Kelly's grip. Dominique's emotional reunion with her mother is highlighted in Surviving R. Kelly. For a long time, Kelly kept quiet about his abusive habit. He would frequently keep his victims alone and dictate their every move, from the clothes they wore to the people they spoke to. His victims' ability to seek aid or escape was severely limited because of the systematic loss of autonomy they experienced. Abusers often resort to this strategy in order to keep control. Kelly made sure his victims would always be reliant on him by drawing them within and destroying their sense of self-worth. As a kind of psychological warfare, it can inflict long-term damage. In spite of several accusations, Kelly remained free from punishment for decades. By using his power, he could undermine his accusers or reach out-of-court settlements frequently. He was largely protected from repercussions by the culture of stardom. In 2002, a videotape surfaced allegedly showing Kelly engaging in sexual acts with a 14-year-old girl. The video led to Kelly being indicted on 21 counts of child pornography in Chicago. The case drew significant media attention and marked the beginning of Kelly's extensive legal battles. Despite the evidence, Kelly was acquitted in 2008 after a lengthy trial. In January 2019, Surviving R. Kelly, the documentary, was released, and it was a turning point in public perception and legal action against Kelly. The 6-part series featured interviews with multiple women who accused Kelly of abuse, manipulation, and control. The documentary also highlighted how Kelly allegedly maintained a sex cult where women and girls were isolated, abused, and controlled. In 2019, R. Kelly was arrested and faced multiple federal charges, including racketeering, sex trafficking, kidnapping, and obstruction of justice. The charges were brought in both Illinois and New York, and they alleged that Kelly had led a criminal enterprise for over 2 decades, using his fame to recruit women and underage girls for illegal sexual activity. These charges were more comprehensive than previous allegations, as they detailed a systematic pattern of predation, where Kelly used his entourage to groom and control his victims. In 2021, Kelly stood trial in New York on charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. The prosecution argued that Kelly used his status to exploit young women and girls, often trapping them in abusive situations with the help of his associates. Testimonies from multiple victims provided harrowing accounts of their experiences with Kelly. On September 27, 2021, Kelly was found guilty on all counts. The conviction was historic, marking one of the most significant cases of the Me Too era, particularly within the music industry. In June 2022, Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison, reflecting the severity of his crimes and their impact on his victims. In June 2022, Kelly was found guilty on several counts in Chicago, further solidifying his legal woes. The Chicago case also highlighted how Kelly had allegedly used his influence to intimidate and silence victims and witnesses. Kelly was sentenced to additional prison time in this case, on top of the 30-year sentence he was already serving. The legal troubles and controversies surrounding R. Kelly have drastically altered his reputation, transforming him from a revered R&B figure into a convicted criminal whose actions have caused immense harm to numerous individuals. His narrative serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of power misuse and the significance of standing by and advocating for survivors of sexual violence. The extensive legal battles, highly publicised trials, and eventual convictions represent a major downfall in the history of American entertainment. As of 2024, R. Kelly is serving a prison sentence after multiple convictions on charges related to sexual misconduct, child pornography, and racketeering. His legal battles have effectively ended his music career and dramatically altered his public image. R. Kelly's behaviour can be analysed from a psychological perspective, considering disorders such as narcissistic personality disorder and potentially antisocial personality disorder. These conditions are marked by a lack of empathy, an exaggerated sense of self-importance, and a readiness to manipulate others to achieve personal goals. Kelly's behaviour perfectly exemplified these characteristics. While it is important to note that understanding the psychology behind Kelly's crimes does not excuse his actions, it does provide valuable insight into the factors that contribute to the manifestation and persistence of such behaviour over time. Kelly's story serves as a powerful reminder of the perils of unbridled authority and the necessity of holding perpetrators responsible, regardless of their position. R. Kelly's story is a tale of extraordinary talent intertwined with severe controversy. While his contributions to music, particularly R and B, are significant, his legacy is now defined by the criminal acts for which he has been convicted. His story is one of a meteoric rise to fame, followed by a dramatic and public downfall. Thank you for watching. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest videos.